On August 15, 1971, the greatest heist in human history took place. No guns were fired, no vaults were blown open, and yet, in a single Sunday evening broadcast, the savings of every person on Earth were quietly diluted. President Nixon announced the temporary suspension of the gold standard. He severed the link between the paper dollar and physical gold. At that moment, money stopped being a store of value. It became a mechanism of control. They tell you this is inflation. They tell you it's just 2% a year. But ask yourself, why could a high school dropout buy a home in 1950 while a dual-income couple today is drowning in debt? It's not because houses got better. It's because your money got broken. When the government can print more paper whenever they want, the paper in your pocket becomes worthless. You are running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. For 37 years, nobody could stop this. The banks were the kings. The Federal Reserve was the emperor. But then, the emperors got too greedy. 2008, the system collapsed. The banks gambled with your money, lost it all, and then asked the government to print more of your money to bail them out. It was the ultimate betrayal. But in the shadows of the internet, someone was watching. On October 31st, Halloween, an anonymous ghost named Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper. It wasn't a manifesto, it was a blueprint. Satoshi didn't ask for permission. He didn't raise venture capital. He didn't put his face on a magazine cover. He simply wrote code. On January 3rd, 2009, the network went live. Hidden in the very first block of code was a secret message. The Times, January 3rd, 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This wasn't just software. This was a crime scene photo. Satoshi was proving exactly why he built it. But here is the most incredible part of the story. Satoshi stuck around for 2 years. He answered emails, he fixed bugs, and then, just as the project started to gain value, he vanished. He walked away from a fortune that would make him the richest person on Earth today. Why? Because for Bitcoin to be truly unstoppable, it couldn't have a leader. If there's a CEO, the government can arrest him. Satoshi realized that the only way to kill the king was to become a ghost. So, what is it? Forget the digital gold marketing for a second. At its core, Bitcoin is a truth machine. Imagine a giant stone tablet in the middle of a town square. Every time someone spends money, a scribe chisels it into the stone. Everyone can see it. Everyone agrees on it. Now imagine the mayor comes in at night and tries to erase a line to give himself more money. He can't. The stone is too hard. The town is watching. Bitcoin is that stone tablet, but duplicated on hundreds of thousands of computers simultaneously. This is the blockchain. To fake a transaction, you wouldn't just need to hack one bank vault. You would need to hack the entire world all at once for 10 minutes straight. This brings us to the most hated and misunderstood part of Bitcoin, mining. Critics scream that Bitcoin wastes energy. They say it uses more power than Argentina. They are missing the point. That energy isn't wasted, it is the shield. Every watt of electricity pumped into the network is a physical barrier protecting the ledger from corruption. It is the only money in history that is backed by the laws of physics, not the promises of politicians. But the biggest threat to Bitcoin didn't come from the government. It came from within. In 2017, a civil war broke out. The corporate giants, Coinbase, Bitmain, the big miners, decided they wanted to change Bitcoin. They wanted it to be faster, cheaper, more like Visa. It sounded good on paper, but there was a trap. If you make the blocks too big, ordinary people can't run the software on their home laptops. Only massive data centers could run it. Bitcoin would become just another PayPal, another bank, controlled by the few. It was the corporations versus the people, the suits versus the punks, and something miraculous happened. The users won. The thousands of independent nodes simply refused to run the corporate code. They signaled no. The biggest companies in the industry tried to hijack the network, and the network spit them out. This was the moment Bitcoin proved it was truly sovereign. No one controls it, not even the people who think they do. Why does any of this matter? Why shouldn't you just keep using dollars? Because the alternative is coming. Governments are building CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Imagine a dollar that is programmable. The government could give you a stimulus check, but put an expiration date on it. Spend this by Friday or it vanishes. They could freeze your ability to buy a train ticket because you attended a protest. This isn't sci-fi. It is already being tested. It is a prison where you can't see the walls. Bitcoin is the only exit door. It is the only asset in the world that you can carry in your head. You can memorize 12 words, strip naked, walk across any border on Earth, and your wealth is still with you. It cannot be confiscated. It cannot be censored. We are living through a separation of money and state. Just like the separation of church and state sparked the Enlightenment, money from the state might spark a new renaissance. They will tell you it's risky. They will tell you it's volatile. But in a world where governments can print your life savings away in a heartbeat, staying in fiat currency is the biggest risk of all. Satoshi Nakamoto didn't just give us a new money. He gave us a choice. You can stay in the cage where the food is free but the door is locked. Or you can step into the wild. The code is open. The ledger is public. The choice is yours.